Jay. How are you?
Um, you know, kind of stressed.
Kind of stressed.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
what
most weeks.
particularly is it home stuff or is it school stuff bleeding into home or vice versa?
Oh, it's definitely workload stuff.
Okay.
Um, I have a test in one of my courses next week,
Okay.
and also, I'm way behind on grading right now. So I'm getting stressed out because I'm sitting here going, when am I going to find the time to do these? And it just keeps going on from there.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing most from you is you're stressed out because you don't have time.
Yep.
And what you said last time was that you were hoping to find a way to manage the stress, especially with your health issues.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what sorts of things have you done in the past where you maybe didn't feel so stressed out or where you felt like you had more time?
Well, before I was working, I had more time. Like, don't get me wrong, I still had a lot of stuff to do, and my days were definitely full, but I really liked being able to spend time outside. Like, I liked being able to go on hikes and help out with some of the scouting organizations in the area and help run events with them sometimes. Like, I really liked doing that stuff. I really liked spending time outside.
So were those things, do you think those things helped you alleviate some of the stress?
Definitely,
Okay.
yeah. But I mean, I don't do a lot of that now because most of the places you go and do that stuff is very, very far from a hospital.
Okay. And so you're worried then about your health?
Yeah, because if something comes up while I'm out there, then, 2-hour drive to get to a hospital doesn't sound very good.
Okay. Well, what about things maybe closer to home that you can do that involve the outdoors?
Well, I suppose there are some, like, nature trails that aren't, like, too far from where we live, so I could go to some of those.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that's good. That's a start. Because ultimately, what I'd like to see you do is get to a place where you can step away from the in-your-face stress kind of thing and give yourself the time, to go and just be yourself or be one with nature, or I don't know, that's super corny, but something like that. Whatever you nature folks say. I'm a city girl, so
I know. I mean, but in the same vein, like, time is kind of a premium in my life. I don't have much of it.
Okay.
So it's like, I guess I don't usually see how I can take the time to go do that stuff when I'm still trying to find the time to actually get my work done.
Okay, I understand. Well, with your health concerns, how do you feel like the stress affects your health?
That makes it worse. That's why my doctor recommended I come here to begin with.
Okay.
Back years and years ago when I did my undergrad in college, I did very well in the sciences. So, I know cortisol is released when you're stressed out and it's bad for your health and it makes everything worse and so on and so forth. So I know the fact that I'm stressed out all the time is bad for my health. And then, of course, I'm anxious about my health, so then that makes me more stressed out. So, yeah.
Okay. Well then, in an ideal situation, because what I hear you saying is that you're very much aware of what you need, and you're aware of what your current coping mechanisms are not really helping you get to the space where you need to be or where you want to be, for that matter. So in an ideal space, how do you see, maybe give me a day in the life of Jay, the ideal day? How would things work out for you?
I would get up the first time my alarm clock goes off. I would eat breakfast before having to run into the car. I would get to school, have a few minutes to finish getting my classroom set up, teach my students, eat lunch and check email briefly during my lunch period because it's really short. Finish teaching students, stay after school for maybe like an hour or two max for like, students who want to come in and make things up and to get some of the work done or whatever. Ideally, none of my grading would be coming home with me. My work would stay at work. So then when I got home, there'd be dinner there when I got home. So I could eat dinner and it'd actually be something that was, moderately healthy. Like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be perfectly healthy, but just something that's better.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe my husband and I could go for like a walk around the block, or we could watch a TV show together or something, and then just be able to hang out with him for a while after
Mm-hmm.
dinner and such, and then go to sleep.
What time do you want to go to bed?
Really no later than 10. Ever.
So, in that perfect day, is there anything at any point during that day do you think that you have most control over right now? So is there anything that maybe you could do right now that would
The time I go to bed.
The bedtime?
Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose. I'm always trying to get on top of my grading enough so that I don't have to, bring it home with me, but it just doesn't happen because I certainly don't have time during the school day really to do my grading, and usually there's just so much of it that I can't keep up with it just by staying after school a couple hours. I mean, sometimes I'm there until 7, 8 o'clock,
Mm.
and then I come home and I still have work, and I still haven't eaten, and I still have school. I forgot about doing schoolwork.
Yeah.
So, I'd really like to be able to be on top of my grading. I'd really like to have less of that to do, but I don't really know how to teach my students and have them have stuff to do and show improvement and get good grades and stuff without having a lot of homework for them, because homework is usually a grade booster.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're getting lots of homework, well, I have to grade all of that homework.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know how to contain that.
Okay. Well, let's focus on your evening routine then, because the thing that you said would maybe be most manageable, I think, was the bedtime area,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the evening, how much time do you usually spend doing, your grading after dinner?
Well, I come home, I eat, and I'm grading or doing schoolwork until I go to bed.
Okay.
And if I have a lot of stuff to get done, sometimes I'm not getting to bed until an ungodly hour of the night or morning.
What time do you finish eating usually?
Well, it takes me maybe like half an hour to eat. So, depending on when I've gotten home from school, then like another half hour. So, it's not unusual for me to get home at like 7. So maybe 7:30, 7:40, I'm done eating.
Okay. So then you've got maybe an hour and a half. Well, we got maybe 2.5 hours before your ideal bedtime.
Yeah,
2.5 hours. Okay.
it's
Does
not enough time to do it.
No.
It's
No.
not.
Okay. Well, what we'll talk about then is maybe working on a more concrete schedule.
Okay.
Because sometimes goals seem very unattainable because you maybe haven't put them into really maybe smaller chunks.
Okay.
So maybe, for example, you would say, well, I'm going to be finished with dinner by 7:30. And I understand that this depends on what time you get home, but I'm going to be finished with dinner by 7.